All right, we are back at it once again with Celsius. Oh yeah, today, oh man, that is so good. We got arms today, and I couldn't be more thrilled. That's the adjective of the day. Now, I do want to say, arms just hit different pretty much on every level, but today's arm day is going to be just a little bit different because we got, man, our triceps are a little sore, biceps are a little sore, forearms, I mean, those are probably the least sore out of everything. But that being said, it is kind of a weird day, and I think the only reason why my triceps are sore is because we did like a different kind of pullover yesterday, and I think I got it on camera, but it was like a cable pullover, but it was with a V-bar, and so I was pulling over, and then once I got to the very top, it's like I had to hold it with my triceps. So I guess that's where I got a little bit of tricep work. But I was kind of, I mean, it's like a bittersweet moment. It's like, nice, I worked my triceps, but at the same moment, you're like, man, I got arms today, so, you know, I want them to be as rested as possible. But anyways, we still will obliterate arms nevertheless. I mean, I'm talking tricep pushdowns, hammer curls, forearms, just the works. But we really don't know until, I mean, I guess we could check the program right now, see what the wizard, also known as my coach, has in store for us. But, you know, all I know is it's going to be an insane pump because we have beetroot extract on our side, and I'm really curious to see how it's going to pan out for the rest of these training sessions with this new pre-workout, because man, just having a back pump yesterday, that was freaking money. I mean, just the amount of blood that was put into my back was unreal. I got to do like a before and after. You know, I have those videos, but I got to put them together and show y'all, you know, really how significant of a pump it was with that on my side. And I didn't even take the full dose. That's the freaking insane part. I only took half the dose that I was, you know, half of a serving size. So, all right, let's rock and roll. That's the plan for today. And man, I am probably gonna feel especially pumped because of the fact that I took a 20-minute nap in my work break. So that was pretty freaking insane. I haven't napped like that in a while, but you know, when it just kind of hits different, like you're so freaking tired that you can just fall asleep and barely even notice. I didn't even notice that I was falling asleep until I did. And once I did, that's when, man, it was lights out. And only for like a solid 20 minutes, you know, that's pretty much all I needed at the moment. But that being said, I had an amazing night's sleep last night, plus the nap. I mean, man, rest is on my side. And I gotta say, I think the best bedtime for me is 9 p.m. Anytime that I fall asleep around 9 p.m., it's not even like, I mean, I'm just rested. I'm just rested all around. I mean, I could wake up at 4 or 5 in the morning and I'll feel rested. It's a pretty interesting thing because I can do the same thing, you know, like I could fall asleep at 1 a.m., sleep for, you know, 8-9 hours like I usually do, and I'll feel half as rested. I mean, that goes to show you, at least for me, just the bedtime alone, like when I'm actually going to bed, that is that makes a huge difference just in my energy levels. So anyways, that's pretty much it. So we got, a big old arm day, and I think other than that, man, it was kind of a weird feeling just flipping on that switch yesterday, in terms of my meditation, because I was talking about how I wasn't as consistent, and I was kind of feeling the effects, like I was just feeling a little more distracted, anxious, whatever. The second I did that evening meditation, man, that's why I freaking love Transcendental Meditation, because it works that quickly for me. I mean, I could literally do 2 meditations, one in the morning, one in the evening, and I could completely turn around my behavior. I mean, from the clarity of my thought process to creative thought to even just day to day, I need to do this. And so it just kind of, just flowing day to day, it just works a little bit better. It's hard to explain. It's like it's like you're emotionally strong, and at the same time, it's like your cognition is working with you and not against you. Because I feel like sometimes, it feels like I'm almost going against the grain when it comes to having to concentrate. Like I need to really try, like, all right, I'm ready. Like almost like furrowed brow, like I'm trying to concentrate. That's what it feels like. It feels like I'm like really putting a lot of effort in. But with this, man, it just everything just feels a little more effortless. And it's funny that I use that word, because I don't want to give it away. Actually, you know what? If you're watching this, dude, I'm just gonna tell you right now, because the fact that you're with me during this vlog right now and listening, man, that is a gift in and of itself. So I want to give back if y'all are giving me the gift of your attention. So I'm writing a book. Pretty cool. Pretty freaking cool. I think I've only mentioned this once before, but the name of the book is Larry the Lotus Flower, The Journey to the Effortless Breath. Now, the whole synopsis of the book is Larry is this lotus flower, has trouble breathing, basically gets picked on by other lotus flowers in the area. And so, one after the other, Larry starts meeting these new animals. And each new animal has a breath technique that they use when, they're just feeling kind of down in the dumps or just stressed out. And so Larry starts learning all these different breaths from all these different animals. And then before you know it, Larry not only has a community of all these animals, but she has all these different breath techniques that she can implement. And from not feeling as stressed out or down in the dumps, she feels more creative and she feels more inclined to help others with whatever her strengths are. And so that's kind of the end of the book that I'm working on right now. But the rest of the book, that's I don't want to say done, but it's pretty freaking close to being finished. So that's kind of my little known secret. Like, not many people know about that part of my life. It's one of those projects that are just, you hold near and dear to your heart. And it's one of those things that I want it to be really freaking good when people find out about it. So that's why, it's funny because the way that it all started was I was literally one day, I was like, dude, that would be so cool if that was a story. Like, it just kind of started as a thought. Like, I was just like, man, if this lotus flower, which is also the symbol of awareness fitness, so it kind of ties in with that, but I was like, man, that'd be so cool if this lotus flower met all these other animals, and each animal had their own breath technique. And so it was during summer, at least I think, or it was some type of break. I just had a lot of time on my hands. And so I spent like 2 to 3 hours every morning just belting out this book. And like, I wrote the entire like outline or skeleton of the book in 6 days. Literally 6 days. I remember that. I was like, whoa, I'm freaking done. But, you know, there were a lot of holes in the book. It didn't go as in-depth as I wanted it to. It didn't, you know, not a lot of the characters had the backstories that I wanted them to have. It's Larry herself didn't have that much depth, so it's like, why would the audience, you know, even care about this lotus flower? Like, I had to build, you know, the behind the scenes of all these different characters and why they were contributing the breast they were contributing, you know. So it had to evolve, you know. It was almost like this story was just kind of a fetus, so to speak. Like, it was just in its very early stages of development. And I think, you know, when you're writing a book, like, whoa, man, there's some cops that just sped in front of everyone, and then everyone braked really quickly. Not too sure what's going on. They're just kind of, you see me rolling. Anyways, but that's that. That's pretty much the origin of Larry the Lotus Flower. So that's about it. I mean, we got arms today. Going back to that. I'm probably going to be doing a lot of cable work because I want to make sure that I'm getting, you know, the arms are really easy to superset. So I want to make sure that I'm supersetting, but I'm also not taking up all these machines and then, you know, doing the whole leave my water bottle at this machine and leave my tiny little earpod, whatever pod at this other machine. You know, like that's cool and all, but man, if you're in a busy gym and a lot of people are waiting on machines, or, you know, it's just crowded, then it's probably not the best time to do it. Just out of respect for other people's workouts. But anyways, that's the dealio for right now. I think we're just going to be sticking to a lot of cables today, depending on what we have. That's about it, my friends. Staying consistent with the meditations. I actually got the chance to charge my phone today at work with the new charger, with like the USB-C port on one side and the lightning charger on the other side, because I got an old phone, relatively old. I can't believe an iPhone 13 is old now. But anyways, fully juiced up. So I think we will have enough battery to film the meditation after the workout, because that's my favorite time to meditate. You know, you do all of these extremely intense sets. You know, you just have a really intense workout, and then you have intense posing right after, you know, as intense as you want it to be. But anyways, it's kind of like training itself is an intense venture. I mean, you're not really relaxing at all other than the rest sets, and those are just a necessary part of the workout. But doing the meditation right after, oh man, it just hits different. You're just fully relaxed, zenned out, and you can just, it's almost like a full release of what you just did. Like, you're just letting go of whatever, you know, of the intensity that you were just upholding for so long, you know, like an hour, like at least an hour, or like 45 minutes. So that being said, meditation works out really well right after a training session. But anyways, not much else to say there, but let's go freaking nuts on these arms right now. Alright, so the sixth of 6 sets is among us. Ooh, we'll see about this. The goal to obviously hit triceps, but you know, back might get thrown in there just for stability's sake. Oh, a little heavier. Come on, come here. Oh, oh, oh. No, come on. Oh. Just get right into it. Oh. 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 Yeah. Oh God. Oh. Oh. All right, let's go hit our last set, hammer curls. All right, 60s were freaking heavy, but might as well try 70s. If I can get 5 with these, each side, that's a freaking win. No. Oh. 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 No. Oh my God. Woo. Had a little rest. Probably got a little more. Oh. Ah. Ah. All right, we have freaking made it. It is 7:24 and we are back in business with the audio, with a good old-fashioned arm day and a great transcendental meditation earlier. Man, I kind of thought of this this little quip, if you will, for the transcendental meditation and what I'm doing whenever I bring my attention back to the mantra. If y'all have ever seen Karate Kid, you know exactly where I'm going with this. So in Karate Kid, for anyone who hasn't seen it, it's basically about this guy who's getting bullied a lot, and so he wants to learn karate. And so he meets up with, or he somehow meets this, I don't know if in the original he's like a janitor, but I know in the newer one with Jackie Chan and Jaden Smith, Jackie Chan is this janitor, and basically he meets up with him, and there's a lot more that goes into that how he actually meets him, but basically Jackie Chan, or Mr. Miyagi in the old one, teaches him karate, but the way he teaches him is through a very unorthodox method. You'd think if you're going to learn karate, you got to learn the proper kicks, the proper punches, just basically anything that you do in a fight. But what he has him do is he has him go through all these different chores that are just extremely monotonous. I mean, I'm talking like, the biggest, most iconic thing is wax on, wax off in the first one. So all he's doing is literally just waxing. I forget what he's waxing, but he's waxing something, like waxing a car. I don't think it's a car, but like he's waxing something. So he's doing this motion, and he goes, and then so he just does this over and over and over again. And the guy who's learning, Daniel in the original, he questions him. He's like, dude, I want to learn karate. I don't want to like wax your boat or wax your car, whatever he's waxing. Like I want to learn karate. Like this is why I came to you, just to learn. So what's up, dude? Like what's going on? And he starts getting mad, and he's just questioning all of it. And then he doesn't answer him at the time. But when it comes to the training, he's like the master, or Mr. Miyagi. He says, wax on. Whenever like he throws a punch, he does the wax on. Wax off, he does the other way. And so after all this tedious, monotonous training that he's going through, it finally all clicks. It just comes all together, because he has all these different moves that he's using on Daniel, and it's just, and so he instructs him. He's like, wax on, wax off. He does a few other things, but like he cues him with whatever he taught him with, but it was with all these very monotonous chores. And it's very simple, the complex comes down to it starts with the simple. And so once you master the basics, you're going to do really well. So that was his whole thing, like in the newer one, it was like Jaden Smith was like taking off his jacket, and he was hanging it up, taking off his jacket, hanging it up, putting it back on, taking off his jacket, hanging it up, putting it back on, taking it off, and so he just kept going and going and going for like weeks on end. This wasn't like a day venture. Like it was for a very long time. He was, doing these repetitive motions over and over and over again. And so it was an interesting concept, because that's how I feel with these mantras. I mean, it's the same exact mantra that you're bringing your attention back to over and over and over and over again, but you're training your mind for clear thinking, emotional maturity, and at the end of the day, creativity. Because when you're the most creative, that's when you are relaxed yet alert. Whenever you're like think about like your favorite thing to do. But let's say you play guitar. That's like you freaking love to play the guitar. You're not playing it like, all rigid and, just trying to play it as much as, with as much effort as possible. No, you're having fun. You're relaxed, but you're not just relaxed. You're really into it. You're tuned into it. You're reading. I mean, if you have a song memorized, you just play the song. But if you're learning it with the notes, you're paying attention to the notes. I mean, it's all about being relaxed yet alert. And so that's what Transcendental Meditation is doing for me. You bring yourself back to the basics. You bring it back to the mantra over and over and over again. But you do it, and you let the mantra do it to you. It's not like you're trying to be relaxed. It's not like you're trying to be alert, because then the effort it takes away a lot of the effects. Like all that you need to do is just bring your attention back. It's almost like going back to Karate Kid. it's almost like if you were trying to do the whole fight, like you were trying to like imagine the entire fight and go through it, it wouldn't work. It really wouldn't work. Because the fight can go in an infinite amount of ways. And so if you're trying to rehearse all the different ways that you could do it, man, that's just backtracking, because you're not going to get anywhere. Like you can't memorize an infinite amount of things. It's infinite. Like it's just not going to work. And so that being said, what you can do is master the basics of the fight. Like you can master how you'd block, you can master how you'd punch, you can master how you'd kick, but you're not mastering an entire rehearsal, because that's just a performance at that point. Like you gotta, I mean, it's not about mastering, the perfect sequence. It's about mastering the basics. It's about mastering the fundamentals of what comprises karate. And so that's what the mantra is about. Like you just master coming back to the mantra and just bringing your attention back to it, and let all the benefits follow. I mean, that's really what it's all about. You're not trying to force the benefits, not trying to, really, you're not trying at the end of the day. Like all you're doing is just bringing your attention back to the mantra. That's it. So that was really freaking cool. I just get reminded of it every day. So I thought that was pretty freaking cool to share, to, just invite y'all to be a part of. But anyways, arm workout went stupendous. It was all that I could have wished for and more. Man, and I don't know about y'all, but I look back at the video of me hitting that, just my poses, and I gotta say, the front lat spread, man, that is one that I really, really struggle with. But it's been really freaking coming along. I mean, I'm starting to see a lot of shape, so I'm very happy about that. But that being said, man, I'm quite pleased with the progress I'm making. So that being said, arm workout, awesome today. We did what we wanted. We just kept everything at the cables, except for 3 movements. It was the hammer curls, the preacher curls, and incline skullcrushers. So I didn't get all of it on film, but that being said, it was a lot of fun. Man, it's funny how I say on film. We're not even using film anymore. It's just press play and record. Actually, honestly, I don't know how the intricacies of the phone works or a camera works, so I don't think we're actually using film though. So it's a little more high tech now. But anyways, we got a big old leg day tomorrow, and I think I'm gonna be hitting it with a friend and a client of mine. So it's gonna be a fun one. It's gonna be at his gym, and apparently it's freaking nice. So we're gonna spoil ourselves, get a nasty leg day in, but then at the same time, I think he has a steam room and a sauna there. So we're gonna freaking treat ourselves to a nice big old leg day and a good old-fashioned recovery. So that's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to that. But anyways, that wraps it up for good old-fashioned arm day and a transcendental meditation. So thanks for joining in. I appreciate y'all's attention. That is the biggest gift that I can ask for. So thank you, my friends. Have a great night.